Hi, this is Brian with Tilde's Redbeard Barbecue. This is Wyatt, my son.
Hello.
He's going to be our videographer a little bit different times here. But started up a new YouTube channel. This is my first video. Basically just wanted to share my love for barbecue and maybe help some people along the way. I've watched a lot of videos that have helped me, and just wanted to kind of share and show you how I do it. So today we're going to start off with some Cornish hens and get them prepared, get them out onto the grill. And what we'll be using today is my Costco, I bought it at Costco, the Louisiana Grills Komodo style barbecue. So that's going to be right over here. And we'll be using that today to smoke the Cornish hens, and also the potato medley that we made up. So we'll see how it goes. We'll get this fired up. All right, so we're going to be doing Cornish hens today. So I've got the Tyson Cornish hens. I've had them in the fridge overnight thawing. They feel pretty good and thawed. So basically I'm just going to get them all unpacked, get them ready to season up, and get on the smoker. So I'm going to... So now I'm going to season the Cornish hens with my rub that I made here in my little Blackstone shaker. Basically got some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, just a bunch of different seasonings, some cayenne pepper just to give it a little spice. So before I do that with the dry rub, I'm going to put a little bit of a liquid rub on it, just to make sure everything sticks. I'm going to use some honey. I've got some local honey from someone quarter-mile down the road from me that gets it, so really nice there. And I'm also going to put some honey that we got last year at a local, or not local, but when we were traveling a little bit, there was a local apiary that we got some different flavored honeys, and one of them had some spice in it. So I'm going to use a little bit of that just to kind of give a little bit more kick and give a little sweetness to the skin. Hopefully it works out well and keeps everything nice and all the seasoning stuck on there. Alright, so I'm going to make the honey glaze to start out before my dry seasoning. Use a little bit of olive oil just to loosen up the honey a little bit. This is the first time that I've done Cornish Game Hens on the smoker, so we're going to see how this goes. Do a brisket pretty often, maybe once a month, twice a month. This one is Big Bob's Spiced Honey, and then this here is a local honey right down the road in the same community I'm in. So just getting this mixed up here. And basically going to go over each one of these and just get a little bit on here. And what I'm also going to do is when before I put these in, I'm going to slice up an apple and put a slice inside each one just to give it a little bit of that sweet flavor from the inside. Some of it will steam up into the meat, and it'll also hopefully help it from drying out, because that's the biggest thing I'm worried about is with these so small. Not a lot of fat on the skin is the easiest thing to do on the smoker, especially would be to dry them out. And they should only take between 1 and 2 hours. I'm not sure, I haven't again done this, but I'm thinking probably an hour and a half max. I'm not going to go too hot, probably 275, and we'll see how she goes. Get them up to an internal temperature of at least 165. Hopefully get a nice browning on the skin. Nice crisp bite with some juicy meat inside is the goal. So we're going to get some of this seasoning on there. look like they're going to be delicious. And they come frozen. Here I couldn't find anywhere that had any fresh. And this one, unfortunately, looks like it's missing half of the breast meat. And I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll cook it up. Anyway, see how it goes. These drumsticks look nice. So obviously if you have a place where you can pick them out, not like little frozen ones that are all kind of, you can't tell because they were frozen, maybe smashed up against something else. You don't know if it's an issue with the meat or just the way it was frozen. So if you can find them fresh at a local place, that'd be awesome. So some of the seasoning will kind of drip off when it's cooking. So it's okay if you put too much on there. It's kind of hard to over season, but I guess you could get a little too salty because these are small birds here. About a pound each. So kind of an individual one a piece. Everyone gets one. Alright, looking good. So next step, we'll get these guys back into the fridge so everything stays safe while we get the smoker going and get it lit up and get it up to temp before we get them on there. We also have to make up our side dish, which is going to be some potatoes, some carrots, so I think some turnip, and basically going to dice those all up, toss them in some olive oil with some seasoning, and I'm going to put those in a baking tray, just a foil tray below these on the smoker, and that way some of the chicken juices drips over them and just basically makes a really nice full meal with everything kind of cooked together and hopefully done around the same time. Okay, so for our vegetable sides, we're going to go with a bag of organic carrots, got some potato medley, basically some different color little baby potatoes. Probably leave those whole. They're a little small. I'm not even going to cut them in half. Got a couple turnips here, and then just some random potatoes here we had from, I think, one of our Misfits boxes that need eaten up, so we're going to clean these up. And we'll leave the skin on those. I will take the skin off the carrots just to make them a little cleaner and chop them up. So. Alright, so we got everything diced up here, all similar size, our turnips, carrots, potatoes, and then our little tiny potatoes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of give them a good dousing of olive oil and then get them seasoned up. So I don't really measure it, I just kind of go until I think it's enough, and I can always add more. My first goal is just to get olive oil on, and I just kind of toss it to try and get everything coated. Good. Now I'm going to use a pre-made rub here. This is a Spicewalla honey herb rub. Fuse it on a couple things. It's garlicky, a little sweet, so I think it'll be good on this. So again, I'm just going to kind of liberally shake some out, and then just try and get them all coated a little bit. A little more. That's probably good. A little more olive oil. And I just kind of keep tossing them until it looks like everything is even. Looking really good now. This is going to be really good. So that is what it looks like. So I ended up making a bit more than I thought I was going to have, because this is the tray that fits on the second layer of my grill. I can't really fit a bigger one, so I'm going to see how much of this that I can get in there. Just want it all to be kind of equal parts. I don't want a whole bunch of turnips and no carrots, that kind of thing. So let's see how it goes. Probably shouldn't go with should be okay. Go right about there. So we'll see what size we have left, and I might do a little, not a whole lot left here, so I'll figure out a way to get that onto the grill too. Actually, I misbought some Traeger little cups for the drip pan. I bought the big ones, and I actually have the Traeger small portable Ranger, I think it's called, and so it doesn't fit. So I have those. I think those will be perfect. They'll be like little mugs of delicious potatoes and carrots and everything. So sure enough, here's my little bucket liners. Looks like they're going to be a perfect size here. I'll probably spread them out into 2 of them. Just kind of working with whatever we have, just trying to make it work, so I don't have to go buy anything extra. Use up what I got, and otherwise these will sit in my basement. Who knows how long before I find a use for them. So this looks perfect. These are gonna work well. I'll find a spot on the grill to get everything on there, and now I've got basically the 1 tray and the 2 little buckets of good herb roasted potatoes, carrots, turnips. All right, next thing is we're gonna go light up the grill. All right, it is now lit with success. Once we get some good embers in there, then we're gonna get the vents just right. What I typically have it at, so at the top here, you can see that. Sorry, there's a lot of sun here, a lot of glare. Full open at 3, this thing will cook upwards of 500, 600 degrees, depending on what you have in there and what you're burning. I usually have it at 1 on top when I'm doing a long smoke, maybe even a little lighter. I'm going to do about 1.5 here, make sure there's enough room for the air to flow through. And then the more important one is this guy down here. So he's closed right now. I forgot to open it up. So when I'm lighting it, I'll leave this full open. Sometimes I'll open both to just leave as much airflow in as I can. And what I've found for me with premium lump charcoal, now this is not the case for something like Kingsford or something, which I pretty much stopped using because you get so much ash with it. It's really not worth it. But I close this guy up to right about here, and I can cook around 275, 250. If I go down here, again with the premium lump charcoal, the top around 1 and this about 1.5 rows, that's my 225. So, all these are different, and depending on what you're using, if you're using solid, if you're using wood, if you're using charcoal, it's going to be a little different. But what I'm going to do, get it up to temperature open. I'm going to close it probably about halfway to here and see if I can get that 275. And then because I haven't cooked it that often, I'll be checking it a little more often to see where it goes. So we get a nice bit of fire going on each side there, and I'll actually just leave this guy closed. I'll open this up and just kind of let it go. It'll probably go up around 400 or so in about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll make the adjustments, get the temperature right, and throw the chicken on. All right, so we had a little mishap with the video. I guess it was on photo and not on video. So this is a little bit of me starting to put this on, but basically lift this up, put the potatoes in underneath there. I've arranged all of the chicken in here, and then I still have enough room to put my other 2 potatoes right in the middle here. So this all should close. I don't know if it's going to be close. I'll see if it hits this or not. If it does, I can always kind of smash the top down and put them underneath if I have to. But right now we got a nice little bit of smoke coming out. Got a good temperature, and closes. Yeah, I didn't feel it hit anything. Although this lid weighs over 100 pounds by itself, it's got a big spring assist in the back. So now that it was up to temp and I had all these open, I'm going to close this down to about 2 on the top, and I had it all the way open. I'm going to basically kind of take this down here just a little bit, and I know that's probably going to be somewhere in the around 275 to 300 range. So if it starts peaking up over that, I'll close it a little more and keep closing it until I can get that right temperature. Okay, I'm out here. They've been on about maybe 45 minutes. Took a little while to get back up to temperature, but I'm going to take a look here and see how they're looking. Looking pretty good, so let's go ahead and do a quick temperature check. So right now I just got a little inexpensive probe. However, probably going to look to get one of those thermo, actually I can't remember exactly what the brand is, but looking to get a better one. So we're on 146 there. Let's go ahead and check it in the thigh. We're actually about 160, 160, 161 in the thigh. So we are getting there. I may want to rearrange them, flip them around a little bit differently, just make sure we don't get them cooked too unevenly there. But we got some dripping going in the middle. The vegetables are looking great. Still a little hard. It might even take a little longer than the chicken. So, all right, and back down. All right, so the chicken is done. I'm going to remove the Cornish hens from here. And the potatoes need a little bit longer. Let's picking each one of them up, it's kind of leaking some of the juices, so I'm trying to direct that into the potatoes. Alright, so we got everything done here, and the chicken ended up finishing up around 185, which you want to kind of get it that high in the thigh to make sure it's safe. And everything's looking good. It held together. Pick it up by the drumsticks, didn't quite fall apart, but I'm hoping I can still pull that apart. The vegetables just turned out amazing. So, look at everything here. And so let's see. Comes the leg right off. And first bite. Good, really good smoke flavor. The seasoning is good. It's not too strong, not too salty. Not a ton of meat on these. Obviously, they're pretty small. But wow, you don't need anything else. Just let's try some of the white meat here. I mean, just dripping. Just look at that. Just so juicy. Just pouring right out. Ever had like a rotisserie chicken right when they're pulling it off? Go to Costco or something and they're taking them all off, and you get one, take it home, and it's pouring out juices like that. That's kind of what this is right there. So here's a piece of the white, just dripping with juice. Let's get some of the seasoning on there. Wow. So when you're looking at barbecue, a lot of times it's about taking something that's a lower cost meat or protein and making it taste amazing instead of spending a ton of money. So these were like, I think $2.50 each, and you know, with just a little effort and some time, got just an amazing piece of meat here. Just gotta grab one more piece out of that. Gotta eat it with your fingers, you know. Looks like a piece of turnip here. Seasoned perfect. The olive oil kept them from burning. You know, here's one of the potatoes. You see the seasoning just evenly spread around. When I tossed them to make sure the olive oil moved back up around and coated them again, none of them broke apart, so that's a big thing. If they're overcooked, they'll smash, the potatoes will smash and break apart, but they weren't. Everything was nice and smooth, so great. Looks like my son's coming. Wyatt, come on down, share what you think about the food. Did you have some? So, what do you think?
Yeah, the food was great.
Yeah. Did you have any of the white meat yet here?
Yeah.
You had some? There you go.
Try some.
Good?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah? You want a carrot?
Sure.
How was that cooked?
Really
Good? Alright. So, success. First time with Cornish hens. Was definitely a big success. So, Chewbacca definitely approves. He says it's good. And it's a wrap. This has been Brian with Tilde's Redbeard Barbecue. And this is Chewbacca. And we'll see you again maybe next week.